This is not just about land. You know, the inheritance that we are speaking about here is a share in the very life of the Father. A share in the holiness of the Father, the way St. Paul talks about it. A share in the very identity of the Father. And because I share in the identity of the Father, I can be called the child, the son. This is the fundamental inheritance that we all have from the Father. And this is what the second son was actually claiming. Of course, according to the parable, he received a big amount. But this is symbolic of deeper things and deeper gifts that the Father has really given to the second son. Especially his identity. You are my son. I gave you that identity. That is the most precious inheritance. I'm sure we Filipinos, families have heard this spoken about by the elders. They will say, we are not rich. We cannot give you an inheritance of money, of land, etc. The only thing that we can give you as a legacy, as an inheritance, is your education and also the good name of our family. That is the best share of your inheritance, that you belong to this family, and this family gladly considers you as one of its own. Now, what did the second son do with his inheritance? What did the son do with his gift? According to the parable, the son squandered it, wasted the inheritance through loose living. He did not value the share that he received from the life and the identity of his father. It's not about money again. It is not about things that we can count and compute. It is about the share that I have in the life of this father, which I just squandered. When I squander money, I'm squandering the love and the efforts of my father. Oh, by the way, the children who are listening, if you squander the time, the opportunity to study, and if you squander the allowance that you get from your parents, you are not just squandering hours or pesos or even dollars that you get, or euro that you get from your parents, especially the OFWs working in Europe. You're not just wasting money. You are wasting, in a very sad but profound way, you are wasting your share in their life. They work hard. It is their life that is being wasted by your lack of appreciation and by your neglect. That makes this parable extra painful for the father. His identity, his love was wasted. But the beautiful thing is that the son realized it and wanted to return to the father. And look at the lines of the son. He has already rehearsed it. He said, I am no longer fit to be called your son. I know I have squandered my share of your life. Formerly, because we share one life, you are father and I am son. I am no longer fit to be called your son. Treat me as a hired servant. That is what I deserve. That's my new share, to be a servant, because I've squandered the original share, being your son. But here the figure of the Father warms our heart. The crime, as it were, of the Son is eclipsed by the compassion, the long-suffering, the patience of the Father, waiting for the return of the Son. And without any question, the Father welcomed the Son and restored the Son to his share, to his sonship. No, you will not be my servant. You will be my son again. And so he was dressed up like the son. He was clothed like the son. He was given sandals and a ring befitting a son. And there was also a big feast, which did not register well with the first son. The first son had nothing to do with it. He wanted to separate himself from all of this affair. And he told the father, no, when this son of yours came back after squandering your wealth, you even had a feast for him. Maganda po sa Tagalog eh. No? Nang bumalik yung anak mo, no? He cannot even call the second son my brother. No? He is declaring, I don't want to share your life now. Kayo na lang dalawa ang magsama. No? I am out of it. I don't want a share in your life. He was so upset. But the merciful father came out a second time, talking gently to the first son, and said, my son, you have always been with me. What I have is yours. No, even if you don't want to be part of this celebration, I tell you, you have your share. When we look at this story, what is the gift? What is the share? It is this: God considering all of us, even us sinners. You are my children. You are my own. You are my share. And I want you to share in my life, in my holiness. The gift of being part of God's life, the gift that is being offered by God. Come to me. You are my own. I want you to be with me. I will receive you. What are we doing with that gift? Are we wasting it? Are we turning a cold back to it? Are we neglecting it? This appeal of the Father. Come. Don't be afraid. You have your share because you are my own. I don't want you to be lost. I don't want you to be destroyed. Come. It will not give me joy to see my own, my children, reduced to that level of being slaves. No, you are my own. You are my children. Dear brothers and sisters, please, let us not waste this gift. Let us be reconciled with the Father. Let us not be afraid to come home. We will only hear wonderful words. The Father will only say, oh, my own son, you have a share in my house. You have a share in my table. And so, there will be joy and feasting. You know, once, in preparation for the Jubilee of the year 2000, Pope John Paul II declared the Year of the Father. And there was a big conference here in Manila focused on the Father. And I was asked to give some reflections on the encyclical of Pope John Paul II on mercy. Dives in misericordia, rich in mercy, where the Holy Father reflected on this parable of the prodigal son and the return to the Father, who gladly took him back and restored his share in the family. I presented it, and I hope faithfully, to the audience. You know, at the end of the session, one woman approached me and said, Father, I did not realize that that parable was that deep, and that the Father really values each one of us. Even the greatest sinner, condemned already by their families, are still considered by God, you are my own. And I said, yes, that's the big mystery of the love of God. You know, she told me, I was in favor of the death penalty. But after listening to this parable, I don't want it anymore. I want every sinner to return home and to enjoy the embrace of the Father. Because even the greatest of sinners belongs to God. He is a child of God. Oh, what a wonderful realization. And I thank that woman for giving me also a lesson, an implication in life of this wonderful parable about the wonderful gift that we should not waste. The word has been exposed. Let us now fulfill it.